Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à ce 10e épisode de Danganronpa Trigger avec Havoc. J'espère que vous allez bien. Donc au courant du dernier épisode, on a vu que HAHAHA a pu prendre notre défense et prouver qu'on n'avait pas été dans le dining hall, donc dans la salle commune, pour pouvoir avoir le couteau. Mais il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui l'a vu. Bon, c'est toujours pas c'est qui. On va sûrement le découvrir au courant de cet épisode. Je vous souhaite un bon visionnement.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Effectivement, heureusement, il s'est excusé.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Fait que c'est Sayaka. Someone who's not here, are you talking about? Justement la personne qui est juste à côté de toi, qui est morte, Sayaka.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knives from the kitchen was...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
Yep, elle voulait se défendre avec.
That's the only possibility.
T'es sûr que c'est ça?
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual.
Elle a eu tellement peur quand il y a quelqu'un qui a essayé de passer sa porte, là. T'es sûr qu'elle a été chercher le couteau, ça peut pas être autre chose que ça.
When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Ouais, c'est ça, je pensais.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Mm-hmm.
In
Ça fait
that
du sens.
case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Ok, ça, je peux pas répéter ça.
He did do it.
Ah.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
C'est clairement pas moi.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
Oui, on a changé.
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
C'est quand même louche que les deux pancartes se soient changées.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Okay. Oh, your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Ouais, ok. Moi, c'est quoi? As things advance further in the class royale, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place, okay? The point of this is to reveal an important phrase. Okay, you'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Ok, fait que c'est là que le mode FPS rentre en ligne de compte. Excusez-moi. Ok, fait que... Oh, ok, on a des points de vie, c'était ça les cœurs en haut. Ok. Ok, donc, something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Donc, c'est quoi qui nous manquait dans la pièce? 4 mots. Il y a un I. Il veut que je paye sur le HK. Attends, faut que je tire plusieurs fois? Je comprends pas. Il n'y avait pas de air. Oh, comment? La pièce avait été clean au total. Je pensais qu'il fallait juste peser une fois sur chaque lettre.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room?
C'est
It
un
wouldn't
fait.
be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
Non,
That makes sense, does it not?
non. Il aurait caché le cadre si ça avait été le cas.
They would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Mhm.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
Parce qu'il a utilisé le rouleau pour tout les faire
They
enlever.
got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Yep.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Donc c'est pas moi, c'est pas Nakoto, Negi.
Makoto isn't the culprit?
Exact.
Are you
Bon.
sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Hello Océane, comment
I
vas-tu?
would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
La porte qui était cassée, En fait-
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the
qui
bathroom.
était dévissée.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Pas tout à
And
fait.
how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with
Ça va bien, merci. Content que ça aille bien de ton côté aussi.
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Je suis seul qui sait pourquoi.
There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember,
Yep,
Makoto?
que je me rappelle. The killer struggled getting into the bathroom and the evidence that prove it is... Où? The doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken.
Mm-hmm.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
J'étais le seul qui savait comment l'ouvrir, cette
So
porte-là.
what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
Oh.
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
Ah, tu fais juste devenir de plus en plus suspect, Léon.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Ah. On va voir comment que ça s'est passé. Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at the first. Ouais, Leon B-Brain, c'est vrai ça. But is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn. Ah, cow! Wow! Ok. Oh! Il va y avoir plus de weak spots. Ça, c'est intéressant. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or culprit. Ok. What? Ouais. Ok, donc mon influence va descendre si je pointe pas la bonne, le bon mensonge en fait. Puis s'il atteint 0, je suis game over. Bon. Ok, fait que c'est quoi les weak spots? Let's go. Ok, c'est parti. On peut faire une boucle si je me trompe pas. Ok, the bathroom. Let's go.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Ça c'est vrai.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main
C'est
room.
vrai.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Mhm.
Then the killer ran after her,
Ouais.
and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down because Sayaka had locked it.
Elle était pas barrée.
What's wrong?
Je suis le seul qui sait comment ouvrir la porte parce que c'est la porte des...
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked.
Il va l'expliquer. Je suis pas mal sûr, parce que la porte des hommes ne peut pas se barrer. La porte de la toilette des hommes ne peut pas se barrer. Lui, il y avait une porte défectueuse, c'était seul qui savait, parce que Monokuma avait apparu dans la chambre pour nous le dire.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be.
Yep.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door.
Mais en même temps, ok, c'est une malchance d'avoir eu cette porte-là, mais c'est une chance en même temps. C'est extrême d'avoir eu cette porte-là parce que ça innocente complètement Makoto.
That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was
Elle
stuck.
l'a ignoré ben raide.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Ah, les signes avaient été
Everyone should have
changés.
known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Les signes qui avaient été changés sur la
The
porte.
killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Yep. Okay, one important detail. Something the killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked. Which means the important detail the killer didn't know was... que ça se passait dans notre pièce.
The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
Yep.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Ça, vu que les nameplates étaient changés...
What the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
Exact.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Effectivement.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Non, tu comprends
Definitely
pas.
something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening,
Mhm.
right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Exact.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
On va tous puis gagne.
Well then, why don't we just vote right now?
No.
Majority rules.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
La boule de cristal.
As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Ok.
Oh, you.
Un déçu. Un déçu.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first
Méchante bonne question, ça.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
Non, parce qu'on avait échangé nos clés.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Mhm.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
Ce qui est quasiment impossible parce qu'elle avait tellement peur qu'on avait discuté avec elle, même si c'était nous, de pas ouvrir la porte.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
The reason there's no way Sayaka invited her killer into the room. I already have the answer.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Ce serait pas logique qu'en ayant peur, t'ouvres la porte. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Oh, ça peut aussi.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Oh! There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Okay, come see me in my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay? What?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil.
Okay, puis nous autres, on savait pas ça.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
Elle est beaucoup trop optimiste.
When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
Nope.
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
J'aurais pu signer pour elle, là, ça fait. Then that note, Sayaka wrote it.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone.
Elle voulait tuer quelqu'un, finalement, elle voulait s'en sortir.
She slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
As-tu plus d'informations?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Oh oh, et c'est parti. Les nameplates, let's go.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Oui.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
C'est pas vrai, ça.
No, that's wrong.
Objection!
The nameplate nameplates on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
C'est elle qui les a switch, quasiment sûr.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yep.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem.
Le best, ce serait qu'elle ait fait ça quand elle a été chercher le couteau, en fait.
And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Nope.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
Sayaka. C'est... There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. Sayaka.
I got it!
Parce que c'est la seule autre qui savait.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
That's it.
You can also infer as much from her note.
De se référer au nameplate. Ouais. There's something I want to talk about you. In 5 minutes, come to see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, ok? C'est ça. Fait que, elle avait déjà changé à ce moment-là.
Tells the reader to check the nameplate.
Mondo, il est crispé ben raide.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
Fait qu'en gros, elle voulait faire un meurtre puis faire blâmer Makoto pour.
What? Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
Mm-hmm.
What happened then was probably
whoever
she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out. We know who did it. Whoever she invited over is the culprit.
Oh.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot.
Ça, il a juste pris un trial d'une demi-heure pour le savoir.
With her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
C'est Sayaka qui aurait attaqué la personne en partant.
We just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
L'autre personne.
Reminds me, there was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
C'est sûr que oui.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
Vu qu'elle avait une contusion sur le poignet.
That's what broke her wrist.
Le glitter. The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because... Où? Ça.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
Yep.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you.
Qui a tellement dit souvent, justement, que ça collait tout le
There's
temps.
some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
C'est tellement Mathieu obvious. Okay, what happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. Ok, encore! Il y en a plus à savoir, let's go! Ouais, ok. Oh, il va y avoir plusieurs trous de boulettes. Ok. Il y en a juste une qui est en... Ok, wow. Il va falloir combiner la bonne boulette avec le bon weak spot pour réfuter l'argument. Bon, ça va encore baisser l'influence gauche. Ok. Si on n'a pas le bon, la bonne combinaison. Ok, good. Ok, le mouse wheel c'est seulement plus simple. Ah! Ah! Ok, c'est ça la legit difficulty. Oh my god, on l'a mis au plus dur. On l'a mis. Fait que ça veut dire qu'on va avoir le maximum de bolettes. Non, juste pas, c'est pas ça. Ok, kitchen knife set, replica sword sheet. Fait qu'on est mieux d'écouter une première fois tout ce qu'il dit.
The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back.
Je pense pas que c'est ça,
She
moi.
grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Ok, fait qu'est-ce qu'on répète là-dedans? The sword was used first and then the knife came afterward. Is that really the order of events that leads to some unexplicable death? Nope.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
Je pense pas, non?
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Ah non!
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Si on y va avec les kitchen knives sur la première statement, parce que c'est pas ça qui a été utilisé en premier, je suis pas mal sûr.
When the fighting broke out,
Et ça, là?
the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Pas sûr que c'est vrai, ça. Ah, c'est pas bon. On va le voir enfin. Yes, I see. So that's your saying is I have absolutely no idea. Ok, non, c'était pas ça. Oh, j'ai perdu un cœur.
The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
Il y a trop de possibilités.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Boing. Non, c'est pas ça non plus. Oui, je pense que t'as dit quelque chose de pas correct. Mais j'ai pas la bonne affaire. Ça va pas bien.
The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back.
Non, elle a pas essayé.
She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Ok. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez, vous autres? Faut pas quand ils pensent de même, le temps s'arrête. Ok, donc on a trois possibilités. Le kitchen knife set, le replica sword, ou le replica sword sheet. Puis, ce qu'il dit, c'est que quand il est rentré, les deux affaires logiques à réfuter, c'est quand il est rentré, l'attaquant est rentré, il aurait pris l'attaque puis il aurait pris le sword puis il aurait fait une attaque subtile. Ce qui fait pas de sens parce que le sword sheet était enlevé déjà de dessus. Il n'a pas essayé ça.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword.
En train de perdre tous mes cœurs.
When the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
C'est vrai de ça. C'est vrai de ça. Objection!
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Il l'a utilisé pour se défendre.
Something sharp.
T'as pas oublié ce détail-là,
You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Effectivement.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
C'est un fait.
If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
Un coup de
If
couteau.
they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
That's it.
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
C'est lui qui avait...
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The
Vas-y.
culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
Sérieux, man? Ils sont tous slow de même? Pour vrai, là?
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too.
Nope.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword,
Pourquoi qu'il aurait brisé son
they
poignet?
took the knife and finished it.
Son histoire tirait pas la route
Sorry,
du tout.
but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
C'est elle qui était l'agresseur avec le couteau.
How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
On commence à se rendre compte que Sayaka n'est peut-être pas aussi blanche que ce qu'on croyait finalement. Mais il reste encore des questions à trouver là-dessus. Est-ce que Sayaka était l'agresseur ou est-ce qu'elle était la victime? En fait, de quelle façon que ça s'est passé? La lettre est assez spéciale aussi qu'elle a envoyée à on ne sait qui s'était présenté dans sa chambre. Si vous voulez suivre l'action en live sur Twitch, vous allez avoir le lien juste ici. Sinon, vous pouvez toujours le trouver dans la description de cette vidéo. Et je vous souhaite une bonne fin de soirée ou une bonne fin de journée, tout dépendant de ce qui s'applique à vous. Et à la prochaine. Bye bye.